Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to our midweek program, the resumption of our midweek program. We took a break after Sri Krishna Janmashtami, but we're back again today with part 4 of our series on the 12 Mahajans. Today, we are very honored to have His Grace Sachipran Gaura Hari Prabhu, one of our stalwart devotees here in ISKCON of Atlanta, who will be covering the part 4 on the 4 Kumaras. Just a quick introduction on Prabhu. Sachipran Gaurahari Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Jay Pitaka Swami, receiving first initiation in 2014 and second initiation in 2020. Prabhu first joined ISKCON in 1998 while completing his bachelor's in chemical engineering in India. He has completed his Bhakti Shastri and is currently pursuing his Bhakti Vaibhav, and he also leads a Bhakti Rickshaw here in Atlanta. He also is always a ready servant for the entire community and someone everybody looks up to and appreciates very much. And we are always grateful for him for always being ready to speak on our platforms. So thank you once again, Prabhu, for being with us today. If you're ready, please go ahead, unmute yourself, and you may begin. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Karthik Prabhu. Thank you so much. Are you able to hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, audio is clear.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining today for our midweek program on the series, on the Mahajan series. We'll start with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamschan Shri Rupat Sagrajatan Sagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rushabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kalaunaasteva Nasteva Gatiranyada Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, most merciful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was instructing Sanatan Goswami. He says, Maya Mukta Jerahi Swata Krishna Gnan Jivera Krupaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. Mahaprabhu says, Maya Mukta Jiva, the living entity who is enamored by the Maya, by the material energy of the Lord, who is conditioned by the material energy of the Lord, Nahi Swata Krishna Gnan. On his own, he cannot revive the Krishna consciousness. He cannot understand Krishna. He cannot understand the path of bhakti. By his own effort, he cannot do this. Then what is the solution? Jivera Krupaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. To show his causeless mercy, the unlimited vast ocean of mercy that Lord Krishna has, to show that mercy on the conditioned living entity, Krishna Veda Puran. Lord Krishna gave the Vedas and the Puranas, the scriptural knowledge Lord Krishna has given us, so that we will be able to understand Krishna consciousness, so that we will be able to perform bhakti. And he goes on to say that this is only possible by the mercy of Krishna, by the mercy of Guru, by the mercy of Acharyas, by the mercy of devotees, and through the Shastras. It's only by this process that we are able to understand Krishna, we are able to understand the path of bhakti, and we are able to achieve the highest goal of life, highest goal of human form of life. So this Mahajan series that ISKCON Atlanta has arranged, it gives us an opportunity to understand the great of the Lord. What can we learn from their life? What are their teachings? So though this series, each of this session is short, but still in this short lecture, we are still able to understand very nice instructions. So the 12 Mahajans are listed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yamaraj himself, who is one of the Mahajan, has spoken this verse to his servants. The verse is from the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayasakir Vayam. So these are the 12 Mahajans. So, and after this verse, there is one more beautiful verse that Yamaraj speaks. He says, Dvadashaite Vijanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Bataha Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Gnatwamrutam Ashmute. So this is a very beautiful verse. It says, these 12 Mahajans. So Yamaraj, he is highlighting Bhagavad Dharma. He is saying, what is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma is essentially surrendering to the Supreme Lord. There are several ways in which we can interpret Bhagavad Dharma, but the ultimate essence is that we are servants of Krishna and our eternal duty is to serve Krishna with love. That is the essence, to achieve love of Godhead, to serve Krishna with loving devotion. That is essence of Bhagavad Dharma. So Yamaraj tells his servants that this Bhagavatam is there are three attributes that Yamaraj mentions. What does he say? He says, Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham. So Guhyam means it is very confidential. It is secret. It is something it is not revealed to everyone. One may read scriptures, one may have Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, one may have all the scriptures in their home and they may read themselves, but they cannot understand because it is Guhyam. And then it is the second attribute that Yamaraj mentions is Vishuddham. What is Vishuddham? Vishuddham means that is pure, that is not contaminated by the material modes of nature, which is very pure, which is transcendental. That is Vishuddham. And then he says the third attribute that he says is Durbodham. Durbodham means not easily understood. It is not something one can buy a study guide and understand on his own. Theoretically, one may understand, but is it heart deep or is it only skin deep? Is it only intellectual or is it really heart deep? So that is the difference. So that is why it is Durbodham. It is not easily understood. One cannot understand the scriptural knowledge on their own. So Yamaraj also highlights how we can understand this Bhagavad Dharma. He says it is by following the Mahajans. So also in the Mahabharata, we all know about Mahabharata, and part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita also, where Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. The battle of Kurukshetra, the life of Pandavas, all of this is in Mahabharata. So in Mahabharata, there are two important concepts. There are two important discussions. How Srimad Bhagavatam has several discussions. It is a discussion within discussion. Similarly, Mahabharata also has two important discussions. One discussion is between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Bhishma. In this, Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking the questions and Bhishma is answering the questions. Right? We know when Bhishma is lying on the bed of arrows, there's a conversation that takes place between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Bhishma. So this is one important conversation. And another important conversation is between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Yaksha. Yaksha is actually Dharmaraj himself in the form of a bird. So there is a conversation between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Yaksha. So this is the second important conversation. And in this, Yaksha is asking the questions and Yudhishthir Maharaj is answering. So one of the questions that Yaksha asks is, He says, Kaha Pantaha. What is the best path that one should follow? Kaha Pantaha. What is the best path that one should follow? And Yudhishthira Maharaj, he responds by saying, Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam Mahajanoyena Gatasa Pantaha. Yudhishthira Maharaj says, Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam. Again, Guhayam. This secret is again is being highlighted by Yudhishthira Maharaj. He says, Dharmasya Tattvam, the truth of religious principles is very confidential, and it is only available, it is only placed in the hearts of a realized person. Dharmasya Tattvam Nihitam Guhayam Mahajanoyena Gatasya Pantaha. So one should follow such Mahajans. One should follow such Mahajans in whose heart the essence of scriptures is revealed. So that is why we should follow the path that is laid out by the Mahajans. And in the purport of these verses, there's a series of beautiful verses in this context. In one of the Srila Prabhupada highlights that we can understand the Bhagavad Dharma if we follow a pure devotee, if we follow a bona fide sampradaya or a disciplic succession. So, for example, all of us went to school. All went to school, we went to some college, we eventually graduated with some degree. So, to obtain this knowledge, we have to go to a bona fide university. In the couple of years back, I was reading that there are some universities that were set up in the US and even in the Europe also that were giving fake degrees. They collect money from the students and they give a fake degree. Whatever degree you want, you can get it. Either engineering, doctor, medical field, whatever you want. Even PhDs also. They were giving out fake degrees. So now the government to know about it and they nullified, they disqualified those certificates. Why? Because the university was not a bona fide university. So similarly, when we want to obtain scriptural knowledge, transcendental knowledge, similarly, we have to approach a bona fide disciplic succession, a bona fide sampradaya. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this understanding because not everyone knows this. Coming from India, I did not know this when I was growing. My parents never mentioned this, but by the mercy of we understand that there is something called disciplic succession, a bona fide parampara, and we should understand scriptural knowledge through a bona fide sampradaya. So quickly, we know there are 4 lines of 4 sampradayas. One is from Lord Brahma, another is from Lord Shiva, another is from Mother Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, and the 4th one is from the Kumaras, the 4 Kumaras. The disciplic succession started by Lord Brahma is called Brahma Sampradaya. This disciplic succession started by Lord Shiva is called Rudra Sampradaya. The one started by Mother Parvati, Mother Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, is called Shri Sampradaya. And then the one started by Kumaras is called Kumara Sampradaya. So our acharyas instruct us that we should take shelter of one of these sampradayas. Any sampradayas we can take shelter, and we will be able to understand the confidential scriptural knowledge. The Bhagavad Dharma will be revealed to us. Also, to support this statement, it is mentioned in the Padma Puran that Sampradaya Vihina Ye Mantraste Nishvala Mataha. So what does this mean? Sampradaya Vihina Mantraste Nishvala Mataha. This is a very heavy statement. If we take a mantra or if we take initiation in a unrecognized sampradaya, Nishphala mata, there is no phala for it. There is no, we will not get any result out of it. It becomes useless. Such initiation or such mantra becomes useless. So that's why it's very important. All of us, we are all fortunate. We are all part of Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, which is part of Lord Brahma's bona fide sampradaya. Specifically, we are part of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we don't have to worry about it, but it's something that we have to learn, we have to know, because depending on where we are, if our shraddha, if our faith is not strong, we may get carried away by non-bona fide, unbona fide sampradayas. So we have to know this. So we should receive knowledge, we should receive mantra, we should receive initiation only from a bona fide sampradaya. And this is something we can tell others also. When we go out for preaching, this is something that we are commonly asked. See, I'm doing something, I'm worshipping such and such God, I'm following such and such preacher. So why should I accept what you are saying? Then we can understand, are they coming from a bona fide sampradaya? If they are coming from a bona fide sampradaya, we respect them. But if they are not coming from a bona fide sampradaya, and if they are open to understand what we are communicating, then we can inform them this, that whoever you are following according to the scriptures is not from a bona fide sampradaya. So we should try to follow a bona fide sampradaya. And we know the important acharyas from these sampradayas, the prominent acharyas from these sampradayas, or for the Sri Sampradaya, it is Ramanujacharya. For the Brahma Sampradaya, it is Madhvacharya. And for the Rudra Sampradaya, it is Vishnu Swami. And for the Kumara Sampradaya, it is Nimbarkacharya, who is also called Nimbaditya. So these are the four prominent acharyas in the four bona fide sampradayas. So in the past few weeks, devotees have already spoken about Swayambhu, which is Lord Brahma, Swayambhu, Narada Muni, and then Shambhu, Lord Shiva. These three Mahajans are already discussed. So today we will discuss about the four Kumaras. So we'll discuss few points about four Kumaras. Again, we have limited amount of time, so we cannot definitely cover everything about the four Kumaras, but I'll try to cover a little bit of their story, their life. So as we know, the four Kumaras are sons of Brahma. So they are Sanaka, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanat Kumar. These are the four Kumaras. So Sanaka, the word Sanaka means ancient, one who is ancient, very old. Sanatan, the second name is Sanatan. Sanatan is one who is eternal. We call Sanatan Dharma, right? So Sanatan is eternal. And then the third Kumara name is Sanandan. Sanandan means joyful, Ananda. He's always joyful. And then the fourth one is Sanat Kumar. Sanat Kumar is one who is always young, Kumar, one who is always young. So these four Kumaras possess all of these qualities. It is not that the first one, Sanaka, is only ancient. It's not like that. This quality of ancient is applicable to all four. Similarly, the eternal, joyful, always young, all of these four qualities are applicable to all of the four Kumaras. So if we see in the scriptures, they're always mentioned together. We never hear talking independently about Sanaka or Sanatan or Sanat Kumar or Sanandan. No, it's not like that. They're always mentioned together. They're called as Chatush Kumar or Chatushana, Chatusana, because they have the starting. All four of them have the starting part of their name is Sana. So that's why they're also known as Chatusana or Chatush Kumar. And they possess all of these four qualities. Each of them possess all of these four qualities. So the Kumaras, they are mentioned several times in the scriptures. They are mentioned in the Puranas also. They are mentioned in the Upanishads also, especially in the Chandogya Upanishads. And also there is a famous Samhita that is composed by Sanat Kumar, which is known after his name. It is called Sanat Kumar Samhita. And there is a nice connection between Sanat Kumar and Ambarish Maharaj. It is explained that Ambarish, one of the spiritual masters of Ambarish Maharaj was Sanat Kumar. And we know Ambarish Maharaj is a great devotee. We read about Ambarish Maharaj in the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, especially the famous Durvasa Muni pastime. So we hear about Ambarish Maharaj. So Ambarish Maharaj was instructed on the path of bhakti by Sanat Kumar. So in this Sanat Kumar Samhita, uh, uh, Sanat Kumar, he writes about confidential pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Very beautiful confidential pastimes of Radha, Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. So it is explained that once Narada Muni approached Lord Shiva. Narada Muni approached Lord Shiva and asked him, Narada Muni inquired from Lord Shiva to explain what are the various pastimes that the Lord performs, Lord Krishna performs at various times of the day. We have Ashtakalya Leela that we hear about. So like that, Narada Muni wanted to understand what are the various pastimes, that the Leelas that the Lord performs at various times of the day. And then Lord Shiva, out of his humility, he said, this is a question that I cannot answer. You should instead go and ask this question to Vrunda Devi. So Narada Muni accepted, and he went and approached Vrunda Devi. He glorified, worshipped, and prayed and requested and begged Vrunda Devi to disclose, to narrate the pastimes of Lord Krishna, the various pastimes that Lord performs at various intervals of the day, at various times of the day. And at that point, Vrunda Devi, being very merciful, she explained all of these wonderful pastimes that the Lord performs in a very elaborate way. She explained very elaborately. And fortunately, all of this is revealed to us by Sanat Kumar. And he is considered to be the chief among the four Kumaras. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we read about the four Kumaras, specifically in the third and the fourth cantos. In the third canto, we hear how they were born. We read about the pastime of them going to Vaikunta. And in the fourth canto, we read about the instructions that they gave Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, who is one of the expansions of Lord Krishna, incarnations of Lord Krishna, took instructions from the four Kumaras. Very beautiful instructions by the Kumaras to Prithu Maharaj on the path of bhakti. It is not that Kumaras, that they are not part of our sampradaya, so we should not learn from them. It is not like that. If we read that section where they are instructing on the path of bhakti, they're very beautiful instructions. And if we have time, I will summarize those instructions also. So we will first speak about the birth and then the Vaikunta pastime of the four Kumaras, and then we will see, depending on the time, we will discuss a little bit more. From the third canto, we see after Brahma was born from the lotus that sprouted from the navel of Lord Vishnu, Brahma performed various austerities to please the Supreme Lord, to understand what to do. He performed various austerities. And then, under the instruction of Lord Vishnu, Brahma started the process of secondary creation. So Srimad Bhagavatam talks about 10 main subject matters. What are they? Sarga, Visarga. The first two are Sarga and Visarga, creation and secondary creation. So Brahma is the secondary creator. So when Lord Vishnu instructed Brahma to start the process of secondary creation. So as part of this, Brahma first gave birth to the fourth Kumaras. He created the fourth Kumaras. So it's not that Brahma had a wife and then because of the wife and husband, the four Kumaras. It was not like that. Brahma, he created the four Kumaras from mind. That's why the four Kumaras are also known as Manasa Putra. They are born from the mind of Lord Brahma. And because they were the firstborn sons of Lord Brahma, and this happened just after Brahma completed his austerities. Brahma had darshan of Lord Vishnu. Brahma glorified Lord Vishnu. The first activity that happened was the birth of the four Kumaras. So that is why the fourth Kumaras uh, naturally spiritually advanced, because they had the blessings that Lord Brahma received. So they were naturally spiritually advanced from birth, by from the time of their birth, and they were very detached from this material world, and they were celibate also. So that's why we see in ISKCON also, before uh, a couple, a married couple desires to have a child, we are asked to follow certain principles, chant extra, do some extra prayers. So certain rules, certain instructions are given. Again, it's not widely advertised, but those who are serious about the uh, welfare of their child, or those who have a desire to bring in a spiritual, a soul that is spiritually oriented, a devotionally oriented soul into this world, they are advised to do certain things. Like there are samskaras that are performed, extra japa, extra prayer. So there are some certain things that are done. So same way, Brahma also, because he has performed some austerities, he had darshan of the Lord, he had sung the glories of the Lord, he offered prayers to the Lord. So he the mercy flow came to Brahma naturally was passed on to the Kumaras. So they were naturally advanced in spirituality, spiritually advanced by from birth. So the Kumaras, uh, and when they were born, Brahma gave them the first instruction. The first instruction that Brahma gave them was to help their father, who is Brahma himself, in populating this world, because that was the part of secondary creation. Brahma had to populate this material world. So Brahma instructed the four Kumaras to help him in populating this material world. But the Kumaras had a different plan. The Kumaras, because they were advanced spiritually, uh, they were intelligent, they are knowledgeable. So they knew that once they grow, once they become youth, uh, they will get attracted to this material world. They will develop desires for sense gratification, and eventually they will get entangled in this material world. So they have decided to stop their growth. They decided not to grow. So using their mystic potency, they stopped their growth, and they remained as a Kumara, as a 5-year-old boy. All of them, they remained as 5-year-old boys. So that is the potency. Because of their advanced spiritual birth, they naturally they had some mystic siddhis, mystic potencies, with which they were able to stop their growth. Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, in the famous bhajan Bhajagovindam, he says, Balastavat Krida Shakta, Tarunastavat Taruni Shakta, Vruddhastavat Chinta Shakta, Param Brahmani Kopina Shakta. He says, Balastavat Krida Shakta. So when one is a small child, Bala, he is Krida Shakta. Krida means sports, games. He is naturally attracted to games. And then Taruna Stavat Tarunya Shakta, meaning when Taruna means when they become younger, youth. When they become a youth, Tarunya Shakta, they are attracted to the opposite gender. Vruddhastavat Chinta Shakta, when they grow old, they have Chinta. They have anxiety, they have worries. And what is their worry? Their worry is about who will take care of their family, who will take care of their children. Once somebody grows old, they have these type of chinta, thoughts, difficulties, anxieties. And then finally he says, Param Brahmani Kopina Shakta. As one passes their time like this, childhood is passed by in attraction to sports, youth is passed by attraction to the opposite gender, and then old age is passed in thinking of the family, welfare of family, protection of the family. In this way, the whole life is past. Param Brahmani Kopina Shakta. One does not have, one does not think of the Lord. One does not spend any time thinking of the Lord. One does not spend time on the path of spirituality. So the four Kumaras knew this, that if we grow, we will get entangled in this material world and we will not be able to progress on the path of spirituality. So they stopped their growth. They remained as Balaka, as Kumaras. They remained as a 5-year-old boys. I was hearing one lecture in which Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he was saying that this verse Adi Shankaracharya composed is actually, it has become infinite combinations as part of Kali Yuga. Why? Because originally when Sripad Adi Shankaracharya composed this 15 or 16 centuries ago, he said Balastavat Krida Shakta, right? Like he's saying that in childhood, one is attracted to sports. But then in Kali Yuga, what is the situation? Not just Bala, even Taruna and even Vruddha are attracted to sports, right? We see the sports stadiums or the sport games where children, adults, old age people, everyone is there. Same way, Tarunas Tavat Taruni Shakta. He is saying, Adi Shankaracharya is saying that in youth, one is attracted to the opposite gender. But actually, that is, in Kali Yuga, that is not 100% true. In Kali Yuga, not only youth, unfortunately, even old people are attracted to opposite gender. And unfortunately, even kids are attracted to opposite gender. So this is the unfortunate situation of Kali Yuga. So knowing all of this, we should try to spend time on the path of spirituality. We should try to spend time on the path of bhakti. So the four Kumaras, they knew this, that if they grow in age, they will not be able to practice bhakti. They will get entangled on the path of materialism and they will not be able to make progress. So thinking like this, they stop their growth. And also it is explained that there are two reasons why one gets entangled in the material world. The first set of reasons are external and the second set of reasons are internal. The mind, intelligence, all of those internal, the subtle body. Because of the internals, one can get entangled in the material world, or because of the externals, one can get entangled in the material world. So in the case of the Kumaras, they stop their internals from influencing them by stopping their growth. See, only when we grow, we develop the attraction to material world. So the Kumaras knew this and they stopped their growth. So they controlled their internal influence. And what was the external influence for them at that point? At that point, their external influence was Brahma. Brahma was instructing them to populate this material world. So that was their external influence. So they stopped the external influence by humbly saying no to Lord Brahma. They did not, they were not impolite. They were not rude to Brahma. They were very polite. They humbly said no to Lord Brahma. In one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada says that we should generally obey the instructions of our elders, of our superiors. However, if the instructions are becoming a roadblock on the path of bhakti or on the path of our spiritual progress, then we are not obliged to follow. So there are several examples in the scriptures for this statement. One famous example is Bali Maharaj, who we will be discussing in the next few weeks. He's also one of the Mahajans. Bali Maharaj was instructed by Shukracharya not to entertain Vamanadev, the dwarf Brahmana. Bali Maharaj told, Shukracharya told Bali Maharaj that this dwarf Brahmana is actually Vishnu. He came in disguise. he is going to steal everything from you. He is going to humiliate you. So do not listen to him. Do not entertain him. Just ignore him. Just don't give him anything. Don't accept his wishes. But Bali Maharaj is a Mahajan. He knew that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he disobeyed the instructions of his Guru Shukracharya and he surrendered to Lord Vishnu. It is explained that Bali Maharaj became a Mahajan just because of this. This maybe 30 minutes of conversation, 30 minutes of pastime that has happened made Bali Maharaj a Mahajan. And he is so fortunate that the Lord is always with him as a doorkeeper. So that is how Bali Maharaj became a Mahajan. He he disobeyed the instruction of his spiritual master and yet he became Mahajan. Because there is a higher principle always. If the instruction that is given to us, if it is taking us away from Lord Krishna, taking us away from the path of bhakti, then that instruction can be neglected, disobeyed, ignored. But any instruction, if it is bringing us closer to Krishna, closer to the path of bhakti, closer to devotees, then we should wholeheartedly accept that. So in the same way, the four Kumaras also humbly said no to the instruction of Lord Brahma. So in this way, they stopped the external as well as the internal influences of this material world. So there is one nice lesson we can learn here. So when the Kumaras disobeyed, did not follow the instruction of Lord Brahma, immediately Lord Brahma became angry. But then he controlled it. He did not exhibit his anger. And we read from scriptures, Bhagavatam, that Brahma's anger manifested as Lord Shiva, Rudra. So the four Kumaras were actually elder brothers of Lord Shiva. So here Brahma was angry because his plan was not followed. He had a plan. Brahma had a plan, and the four Kumaras were not adhering to his plan, were not participating, were not going along with his plan. So that's why Brahma became angry. But he did not exhibit his anger. He did not show his anger outside. So this is a lesson for us to learn. We will have disagreements with people in this world. Even with devotees also we may have disagreement. But that situation should not manifest in a fight. We should control our anger. We should understand the disagreement, and we should accept that Krishna has a higher plan. We may have, but what will prevail? Always Krishna's plan will prevail. We have to have this firm conviction, firm understanding. Nothing can happen without Krishna, and he understood this. Brahma, being a Mahajan, he understood this, and he accepted the decision of the four Kumaras, and he actually blessed them. The decision that you all are making is very good. So he blessed the four Kumaras. So now there is a totally opposite instance also of this type of story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We see in the life of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was also a great devotee. He also wanted to progress in the path of bhakti. Right? Just like four Kumaras, Prahlad Maharaj also wanted to progress on the path of bhakti. He is also a born Mahajan. So about whom we will be hearing in the future, very near future. So Prahlad Maharaj was instructed by his father Hiranyakashipu to deviate from the path of bhakti, to stop worshipping Lord Vishnu. But what did Prahlad Maharaj do? He obediently disagreed his father's instruction. He was always obedient to his father. We never hear uh, uh, Prahlad Maharaj using ill words towards Hiranyakashipu. Even when he was calling Hiranyakashipu a demon, he used the word Suravarya. Asuravarya, sorry. He used Asuravarya. Oh, best among the demons. So, Prahlad Maharaj was always respectable to his father. He never ill treated his father. He never used bad words towards his father. But what did Hiranyakashipu do? Hiranyakashipu exhibited his anger. He tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj. He tried to harm Prahlad Maharaj. He tried to poison Prahlad Maharaj. He tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj in various ways. So that is the difference between Hiranyakashipu and Brahma. Brahma is a Mahajan, so he knew that everything that happens is Krishna's plan. So that is why he did not exhibit his anger on four Kumaras. He did not beat up the four Kumaras. He accepted their decision. But on the other hand, Hiranyakashipu, who is a demon, he did not accept Prahlad Maharaj's decision. He insulted Prahlad Maharaj. He tried in all ways to get Prahlad Maharaj away from the path of bhakti. So this is an important lesson for us to understand that uh, there is our plan that we make and there is Krishna's plan. So as long as our plan is considering Krishna as the center, then we will always be happy, we will always be successful. But if we do not have Krishna in the center of our plan, then we will be frustrated, we'll get frustrated. So it's very easy to understand and very simple to practice also. We can see in our day-to-day life at any point of the day, if we are getting frustrated for something or if we are becoming angry, even I become angry and I become frustrated too. So it's not, I'm not preaching to everyone, this is for myself, that if our plans are not having Krishna in the center, if we are not following Guru, Shastra, then we will get frustrated. So that is a barometer, checkpoint for us. If you are getting frustrated, and let's say if you are not following the path of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then that's a immediate red light for us. We should stop and we should analyze that what we are doing is wrong. So we should correct ourselves. So another good example of this from Srimad Bhagavatam is Chitraketu Maharaj. So Chitraketu Maharaj, I'll quickly narrate this story. Chitraketu Maharaj, he had a strong desire to have a son. He was very attached to this desire of his to have a son. So with that desire, he married several wives, 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000. He kept marrying, but he did not have a son. So like that, he kept marrying. He became a crorepati. He married 1 crore wives. Still 10 million wives. Still he did not have a son. But he did not accept that this was Krishna's decision, that this was Krishna's plan. So finally he went and begged Narada Muni and Angira Muni, and they blessed him to have a son. And by their blessings he had a son. And they told him to name this son Harsha Shoka, because this son is going to give Chitraketu Maharaj sorrow also, not just happiness but sorrow also. So Chitraketu Maharaj did not think too much about it. He thought maybe the kid will be naughty, and maybe the sages are thinking that naughtiness will give Chitraketu Maharaj sorrow. So thinking like that, Chitraketu Maharaj ignored the name Harsha Shoka, but he still went ahead and had the son. But eventually, to cut the story short, eventually the other wives of Chitraketu Maharaj, becoming envious of this child, they poisoned and they killed him. And now Chitraketu Maharaj was drowned in an ocean of mercy. He was not able to rule his kingdom. He forgot everything. He almost lost his consciousness thinking of his son, his dead son. So at that point, Narada Muni and Angira Rishi, they came and they again instructed him some nice scriptural knowledge, spiritual knowledge, And with that, he uh, Chitraketu Maharaj became a devotee of the Lord, and he uh, became detached. And once he was traveling in his aeroplane, and at that time he saw Lord Shiva instructing several of his disciples and other sages, and he was instructing them about detachment, about scriptural knowledge, spirituality, especially detachment. And now, and it is said that Lord Shiva had Mother Parvati on his lap. On his lap. Mother Parvati was sitting on his lap and Lord Shiva was speaking. So Chitraketu Maharaj saw this and he smiled. And Chitraketu Maharaj, he smiled because he knew that Lord Shiva was a great personality. Only Lord Shiva can speak about the renunciation or detachment with his wife on his lap. It is very difficult to do such a great act because it is distracting. But Lord Shiva is a great personality and he could do it. So Chitraketu Maharaj, when he saw this, he, out of his happiness, realizing the greatness of Lord Shiva, he smiled, he laughed. But unfortunately, Mother Parvati saw this and she mistook Chitraketu Maharaj. She thought that Chitraketu Maharaj was smiling ridiculously at Lord Shiva. To ridicule Lord Shiva, uh, she felt that Chitraketu Maharaj was smiling or laughing. So immediately, out of her anger, she cursed him to become a demon. And Chitraketu Maharaj, he silently accepted the curse. Because at this point, Chitraketu Maharaj was a devotee. That's why he knew that behind everything there is Krishna's plan. So now, because he understood the path of bhakti, because he is a devotee, he silently accepted whatever came to him. But previously, before he became a devotee, he was not ready to accept. He was not ready to accept that he should not have a son. He cannot have a son. He was not accepting it. But here he accepted because he was a devotee. So similarly, Lord Brahma also accepted the decision of four Kumaras because Brahma knew that Krishna has a higher plan. Similarly, we see so many examples like this. So Kumaras, Srila Prabhupada also, in the life of Srila Prabhupada also, we see so many examples. In the life of our Gurujan also, we see so many examples. Our Acharyas also, we see so many examples. So coming back to the four Kumaras, because they are the first born sons of Brahma, they are considered to be the senior most devotees. Only because they are the first sons of Brahma, right? Even Shiva was also born after them. So that's why Kumaras are considered to be the senior most devotees. And by birth, they were actually attached to the impersonal understanding of the Supreme Lord. There are several understandings of the Lord: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, impersonal, personal feature. So there are several understandings of the Lord, and the Kumaras were attached to the impersonal understanding of the Supreme Lord. And then Lord Brahma initiated them into Gopal Mantra. Lord Brahma trained them and taught them the path of bhakti. And the four Kumaras chanted the holy names of Krishna. And over a period of time, they realized that there is something higher than the impersonal form of the Lord. They did not fully know what it is, but they realized that there is something higher than the impersonal form of the Lord. And they started getting attached to the personal form of the Lord. But still, because they were not advanced on the path of bhakti, they had some lingering doubts about the path of bhakti or about the personal form of the Lord. And with that, they developed a strong desire to take darshan of the Lord. And with that desire, they started to go to Vaikuntha. In the in the various types of incarnations of Lord Krishna, one of the avatars is Kshatravesh avatar. And it is said that Narada Muni is one of the Kshatravesh avatars, and then the four Kumaras are the other Kshatravesh avatar. So because they are an avatar of the Lord, because of their advanced on the path of spirituality, because they are advanced on the path of spirituality, they the ability to travel wherever they want in this creation. Not only in this material world, even in the spiritual world also. So they had an ability to go to Vaikunta. So we know Vaikunta has 7 doors. So they easily cross the first 6 set of doors of Vaikunta. And when they reached the 7th door, they were stopped. There were 2 gatekeepers there, Jaya and Vijaya. I know we have only few minutes left, so I will not elaborate this pastime. Most of us know this pastime, but I will go through this quickly. There were 2 the gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, and they saw these 4 small children, 4 little kids, boys, who were not even clothed. They were not wearing any clothes, and they were trying to enter Vaikunta. So the gatekeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, they thought, these are some little kids who will enter and disturb Lord Vishnu or the Vaikuntha Vasis. So thinking like that, they stopped the 4 Kumaras. So they just saw the externals. They saw the externals of the 4 Kumaras and they stopped them, thinking they may be some naughty kids. They stopped the 4 Kumaras. So our acharyas highlight here that we cannot identify great souls just by looking at their externals. Externally, one may look like a beggar, or one may not have a kanti, one may not have a tilak, one may not be in a devotional attire, but we cannot judge somebody by their externals. What we have to see is the internals. Somebody may exhibit, try to imitate Ashtasatvika Vikar, the transformations, the 8 transformations, ecstatic transformations. But just by looking at the transformations, we cannot accept one to be a great devotee. We should also see their internals. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita and also in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami highlights this. It is called Anubhava. Anubhava means the internal manifestations of the ecstasy. Kshantir avyartha kalatvam, virakti manya shunyata. There are 8 anubhavs that, 10 I think anubhavs that Rupa Goswami highlights. So we should see the internals also, not just the externals. If we see just the externals and accept somebody, then we may be fooled. So we should see the internals also. What is the person who is claiming to be a devotee doing behind the doors? Is he practicing spirituality even behind the doors, or is he showing off as a devotee only in front of others? So we have to study a devotee internally also. So here the gatekeepers of Vaikunta, Jaya and Vijaya, they just saw the externals of the 4 Kumaras, thinking them to be small little boys, naughty boys. They stopped them. So at this point, the 4 Kumaras were shocked. They did not understand why they were stopped, because they were eager to go and see Lord Vishnu, and they considered themselves harmless. They knew that they are harmless. They knew that they did not have any ulterior motives. They did not have any ill feelings towards anyone. They just wanted to take darshan of Lord Vishnu. So they were thinking, why would anyone stop us? So thinking like this, they thought amongst themselves that these 2 doorkeepers do not seem fit to be in Vaikunta. They are thinking that we are enemies. We are enemies coming to trouble the Vaikuntavasis or Lord Vishnu. And they felt that actually these two doorkeepers are not servants of Lord Vishnu. They're actually imposters. They're imitating to be servants of Lord Vishnu. Because the Jaya and Vijaya, they are seeing the four Kumaras as enemies. So because they are enemies in their heart, that's why they are seeing the four Kumaras as enemies. So they are imposters. So that is what Kumaras were thinking. And they cursed the uh, gatekeepers. They cursed them that because you are seeing duality. In Vaikunta, there is no duality. uh, Everyone is always thinking of Lord Vishnu. Everyone, the only goal that everyone has is to serve Lord Vishnu. So they curse them that because of this you will have to go to the world where there is duality, the material world, dvandva. So that they were cursed to go to the material world. So immediately the Jaya Vijaya, they realized that these are not normal boys. They realized that these are great brahmanas, great sages, and they immediately fell at their feet and begged forgiveness. And then the four Kumaras, seeing the uh, nature of Jaya and Vijaya, how humble they were, even they felt bad. Even the four Kumaras felt bad. They felt sad that they cursed these great devotees of Lord Vishnu. And while this was going on, Lord Vishnu, who knows everything, uh, appeared there. He rushed to that location. Bhagavatam explains that he rushed to that location. And then when Lord Vishnu arrived there, the breeze that was carrying the fragrance of the tulsi that was offered at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu entered the nostrils of the four Kumaras, and immediately there was an instant transformation of their heart. Whatever attraction they had towards the impersonal form of the Lord immediately disappeared. They became completely attached to the personal form of the Lord. All of the doubts that they had before, everything got nullified, everything got erased. So they became complete 100% pure devotees and attached to the personal form of the Lord. And at that time they fell at the feet of Lord Vishnu and they begged forgiveness that uh, by mistake they have cursed the Jaya and Vijaya, the servants of Lord Vishnu. But then there's a nice set of prayers that the Kumaras, the nice set of verses that describe Vaikuntha, and also there are prayers that are offered by the four Kumaras here, which is very very beautiful to read and understand and recite. And then Lord Vishnu in turn, he glorifies the devotees also. He says that, my servants have offended you. Jaya and Vijaya, who are serving me, they offended you. So when a servant offends, the fault comes to the master also. So I take this as my fault. And Lord Vishnu, so merciful, he goes on to say that if my arm, if my hand causes any trouble to my devotee, I will actually chop off my hand. See how big a statement that is, and how loving the Lord is, the devotees are for the Lord. The Lord considers the devotees to be his everything. He's ready to chop off his own hand if his hand troubles the devotee. So that's why. So the Lord here is talking about his hand, chopping off his hand if the hand troubles another devotee. So that's why Vaishnava Aparad is very very important. We cannot commit Vaishnava Aparad. It's very dangerous. This is a very important thing for us to know, that the Lord does not like offenders of Vaishnavas. We should be very careful when we deal with Vaishnavas. Uh, we should not be offense conscious. We should be bhakti conscious or we should be Krishna conscious. And we should be careful not to commit any offenses, any aparads towards the Vaishnavas, because the Lord does not like it. Our goal of bhakti is to please Krishna. What is bhakti? What is seva? Seva is to please the Lord. Bhakti, whatever bhakti we perform, whatever anga, whatever activities that we perform on the path of bhakti, why are we doing it? We are doing this only for the pleasure of Krishna. So Vaishnava aparad is not pleasing to Krishna. So automatically we should not commit Vaishnava aparad. We should be very careful. And so there's a long story here, but I will cut it short here. At the end of this whole pastime, Lord Vishnu reveals. See here, one side, the four Kumaras are feeling sad that they have cursed Jaya and Vijaya. And on the other hand, Jaya and Vijaya, they are feeling sad that they offended the Vaishnavas and that there is a separation from Lord Vishnu. So they are also feeling sad. But then to summarize the whole thing, Lord Vishnu, at the end, he reveals that this whole incident, it did not happen because of the Kumaras, it did not happen because of Jaya and Vijaya, it actually happened because it was my desire. Krishna, we know, in Bhaktirasamrita Sindhu, we hear that Krishna is known as Akila Rasamrita Murti. He is an ocean, he is a reservoir of all rasas. And one of the rasa we know is Virya Rasa. The Lord likes to fight. The Lord enjoys fighting. But we know in Vaikuntha, it is, there is no kunta, there is no anxiety, there is no enmity, there is no violence there. So fighting cannot happen in Vaikuntha. So fighting can happen outside of Vaikuntha. So, and then who can the Lord fight? He cannot fight the Gopas and Gopis. He cannot fight the Vishnu, the servants of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnu Dutas. No, he cannot fight them. He needs to have somebody who is very powerful. And it is explained that Jaya Vijaya are very powerful guards of Vaikuntha. So Lord Vishnu chose Jaya Vijay to be his opponents. And then also Lord Vishnu also says that once Jaya Vijaya, actually they stopped Mother Parvati from entering Vaikuntha. So so Jaya Vijaya stopping somebody entering Vaikuntha. Four Kumaras were not just the first ones. They actually, it so happened that they stopped even Mother Lakshmi also once when she was entering. So since then Mother Lakshmi was upset with them. She was not happy with them. So now that Jaya Vijaya are cursed and that they are going to the material world, now Mother Lakshmi is also satisfied. The goddess of fortune is also pleased. So see, Lord Vishnu, with one incident, he satisfied everyone. He's a greatest conflict resolver. He can resolve conflicts very nicely. He can resolve multiple conflicts at one time, like this. So, we know after this, there's a long pastime. Jaya Vijaya coming to this material world in 3 times. The Lord kills them and liberates them. And going forward, I'll complete it in another few minutes. Please bear with me. The four Kumaras, from this point of time, the four Kumaras were known all over the world. And they were known as Mahajans, greatest authorities on the path of Bhakti, in the science of Bhakti. And like I was mentioning earlier, in the 4th canto, they actually gave instructions to Prithu Maharaj also. A series of verses where they instructed Prithu Maharaj on the path of Bhakti, and their instructions can be summarized in 4 sections, in 4 headlines. The first one is they emphasized on hearing and chanting, Shravanam and Kirtanam. And then they emphasized on Sadhu Sangha and Sadhu Seva, Vaishnava Seva. And then the third thing that they instructed on is tolerance. How Mahaprabhu also instructed in the 3rd verse of Shikshashtakam. And then the 4th one they instructed is on control of the senses. sense control, avoiding sense gratification, celibacy, detachment from this material world, all of those things. So in this way, the four Kumaras instructed Prithu Maharaj, and also in the Sanat Kumar Samhita also there are nice instructions, and Ambarish Maharaj was also instructed by them. So like this, there are so many nice instructions, and in this Sampradaya, the prominent Acharya is Nimbarka Acharya, and he received instruction directly from the four Kumaras. And Nimbarka Acharya is also, originally he was known as Nimbaditya, but then later on he became an Acharya and he is known as Nimbarka Acharya. So there is more to cover actually, but I will stop here. I know it is, I have exceeded the time limit, but I'll stop here. Once again, I thank all of you for attending this session and giving me an opportunity to speak and purify myself. And I'm very thankful to the organizers of this session. I know Karthik Krupa Prabhu, Sadananda Ramchandra Prabhu, Naveen Prabhu, they all work diligently to organize these sessions for all of us. So I'm very thankful and grateful for this, and thankful for it, ISKCON Atlanta, for this opportunity. Thank you all. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such an amazing class. As always, you touched on such amazing points on yet another amazing topic. We'll move on to our question and answer session, which we regularly do. Dear devotees, if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we shall give you an opportunity to ask a question. I do see Santosh Chaitanya Prabhu has his hand raised, but I do have one question that was sent in virtually. I'll just ask that question first, and then Santosh Chaitanya Prabhu can ask his question. So virtually, it's a anonymous question. It's asked, how do we avoid the errors made by Jai and Vijay towards the Kumaras? As on day-to-day, we make errors in judgments of devotees and end up committing offenses. Also, aren't Jai and Vijay devotees? So how can Vaishnavas who are compassionate curse other devotees?
So Jaya and Vijaya did not curse devotees. The four Kumaras cursed Jaya and Vijaya. So this whole, this question, it's a very beautiful question. And it's a class again in itself. It's about Vaishnava Aparad. So I will keep it short really. The essence is that we should see everyone as part and parcel of Krishna. Everyone is a child of Krishna. At the end of the day, all of us have a relation with Krishna. Whether one is on the path of bhakti or not, everyone has a relation with Krishna. So, if we have a brother, do we, in Kali Yuga, I know everyone fights, there is kalaha everywhere, but generally speaking, brothers or siblings in a family, they are nice to each other. So similarly, we are all children of Krishna. So we should not fight amongst ourselves. And especially coming to Vaishnavas, we have to be more careful because Vaishnavas are dear to Krishna. Krishna says that Vaishnavas, I consider Vaishnavas to be more important than myself. I actually follow the footsteps of Vaishnavas so that the dust coming from their feet, when it comes on my body, the whole three worlds will get purified. The material worlds get purified. So when Krishna is considering Vaishnavas, devotees to be so exalted, then we should not find it difficult to, treat devotees with respect. We should see, when we try to compete, that's when we judge others. So we should avoid this mentality of competition. We should understand that all of us are in the path of bhakti to please Krishna. We should think whatever we are doing, is it pleasing to Krishna? Just imagine if, let's say, if I judge somebody and, is it pleasing to Krishna? It's not pleasing to Krishna. So our activity, whatever activity we are doing, we have to make sure, this is the fundamental question that we should ask every time. I am doing this, is it pleasing to Krishna? whether it is physically, whether it is verbally, or whether it is mentally, whatever we are doing, every act that we are doing, every thought that we have to run it by this litmus test. Is this pleasing to Krishna? Is my thought pleasing to Krishna? Or these words pleasing to Krishna? Is my act pleasing to Krishna? When we when we try to adhere to this, when we try to apply this in our life, uh, then we will be able to avoid judging others, committing Vaishnava aparadh. And again, this is not something that will happen in a day. Just as everything on the path of bhakti, it is not something that will happen overnight. It takes time, it takes practice. When we are small, when we try to walk, we used to fall. When we are little, we fall when we started walking, but then our parents hold our hand, and when we walk along with them, slowly we gradually learn how to walk. So this path of bhakti is also like this. Even the process of stopping committing Vaishnava aparadhs is also like that. It is not something that will happen overnight. We all are accustomed to judging others. Coming from the material conception of life, we all are accustomed to it, judging others, finding faults in others, criticizing others, speaking ill of others. Most of us are accustomed to it because of our previous life. But when we come to the path of bhakti, we carry those things also into our life. So we have to be watchful. Even Krishna tells Arjuna, abhyas. We have to abhyas, we have to exercise, we have to constantly exercise. Even for our physical body to maintain, we exercise, right? So same way, to progress on the path of bhakti also, we have to exercise. And the exercise is diligently thinking, analyzing every thought that we get, analyzing every word that we speak, analyzing every activity that we perform. When we do this, then naturally over the period of time, Krishna gives us the intelligence. Krishna gives us the ability to control our mind, ability to control our words, ability to control our activities also. And everything is in the hands of Krishna. We independently ourselves, we cannot do anything. We have to pray to Krishna. Oh Krishna, I am getting these bad thoughts. Can you help me? I spoke something wrong. Can you please help me? Can you please forgive me? Can you please purify me? Ultimately, it's in the hands of Krishna. We individually ourselves, we cannot do everything, anything. We cannot do anything. Everything is in the hands of Krishna. So the more we pray, the more we surrender to Krishna, the more we beg forgiveness, the more we beg for clarity, purification, we make progress. So that's a fundamental thing. Hope that answers, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your wonderful answer. I think that definitely covered that entire question. Thank you. Santosh Chaitanya Prabhu, if you're ready, you may unmute yourself and you may go ahead and ask your question. Haribol.
Thank you, Karthik Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Sachidan Prabhu. This is my humble obeisance. Prabhu, I have a very basic question. These four Kumaras, why they are not counted as four Mahajanas? Why only one Mahajana?
Yeah, very good question, Prabhuji. Actually, I wanted to speak on that also, but I did not speak. Thanks for asking this question. So it is explained that these four Kumaras were like one entity. Their thought, their word, their activity, like just how I was explaining before, all of them were always on the same thought process. They were always saying the same thing. They're always acting the same thing. So they're all like one entity, one soul in four bodies. That is how they were. So that's why they're always considered as one entity, like Chatush Kumar, Chatusana. That's how they are known. And they're not counted individually. So the Mahajans are 12. And among them, one set of Mahajans is these four living entities. So that's why they're called as, they're four. They're considered as one entity.
Okay, Prabhu,
Okay,
thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Santosh Chaitanya Prabhu, for your wonderful question and for your wonderful answer, Sachidan Prabhu. I had a question for you, Prabhu, actually two questions. My first question being, why are there only 12 Mahajans? Arguably, there are many other great personalities that we read about in our scriptures. May you elaborate on that, please?
Prabhuji, my understanding is that Yamaraj, when he spoke, at that time, these were the great personalities that were identified. So that's how he identified these 12. That's my understanding, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. And my second question is based on, you were speaking about Lord Brahma's anger, in that when he created the four Kumaras and after they neglected his instruction, he was angry, but then controlled that anger. So my question is, how can we as devotees control our anger, not just in our day-to-day lives, but especially in our services to other devotees and within the temple?
So that's a very good question. So generally, uh, devotees, they don't get angry. Devotees who are surrendered to Krishna, they don't get angry. We see in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that because of the sense gratificatory propensity, because of the desire to enjoy in this material world, when that desire does not get fulfilled, one becomes angry. So, for example, let's say if I want to eat a gulab jamun, okay, and let's say for some reason I'm not able to get it, then I will naturally become angry. Or let's say if I see the gulab jamun but somebody comes and eats that gulab jamun, then I'll become angry at that person, whoever ate it, like that. So why am I getting angry? I'm getting angry because I had a desire to have that gulab jamun and somebody else had it, so I'm getting angry. Same way, like this is a simple example, but generally we get angry because our desire is not fulfilled. Same way in the case of Brahma also. His desire was populating this material world. But the four Kumaras went against his desire and anger came to his heart, but he controlled it. So in our life also, as we progress on the path of bhakti, we will come to a stage where we will be able to control anger. And as I was explaining in the previous, for the previous question also, we are all coming from a material background, so we all carry certain weight with us. We have a lot of anarthas in our heart: lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion, acting, the four defects that we have, our past life karma, the current life karma, and the continuous karma that we are performing, the bad activities knowingly and unknowingly that we are performing, all of this weight we are carrying actually. So until all of that is purified, it is difficult to control anger. But then the scriptures say that we can channel anger against non-devotees. So for example, when we go to Sankirtan, somebody may criticize us or somebody may argue with us, and if we have anger, we can vent out on them, but again in a nice way, not in a violent way, but in a nice way we can exhibit our anger to them. Like Hanuman, he has exhibited his anger, but he's glorified. So like that, it's a natural process, gradual process. As we practice on the path of bhakti, all of this will naturally come. Gnana, vairagya, all of this pure qualities, purity of heart, all of this will naturally come. But generally, the reason why one gets angry is because of desire for sense gratification. So that is the root. We have to kill the root. We have to chop off the source. The source is desire to enjoy the material world. That is the source. So if we are able to control that, naturally everything will disappear. Even in I'm forgetting the book's name. There was one book that was explaining about anarthas also, and it is said that the root is our desire to enjoy this material world. The attachment to this material world is the cause of all anarthas. So if we work on that, then we'll naturally be able to control all the anarthas. And to work on detachment to the material world, the answer is attachment to Krishna. So the more we are attached to Krishna, the more we'll be detached to the material world, and the more we'll be able to control all the anarthas. Hope that answers, Prabhuji.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dear devotees, if there's anyone else who would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we can give you an opportunity. Okay, Prabhu, I think that will end our question and answer session. Thank you once again for such an amazing class. As always, you're now regular on our programs, and it's always such a pleasure to hear from you. And we look forward to having you back on our platform, whether it be the midweek program or the Sunday program. Once again, thank you so much once again. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, we do have some important announcements to make, including some updates on Radha Astami. So just give us a second to bring up our slideshow. Next on our platform, we have our virtual Sunday program. We'll be having a special class with our special guest speaker, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami. This will be coming up on Sunday, September 12th, and will be taking place at 10 a.m. Maharaj will be speaking on the significance on Radha Astami, which will be happening the day after. So please join us. Bhakti Rasamrita Swami is world-renowned for his classes of extreme quality and depth, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Coming up next, we have part 5 of this series, which will be happening next week at 7 p.m. and we'll be covering Lord Kapila. Also, don't forget to join us for our weekly kirtans at our temple, which will be beginning at 6 p.m. We are there every Sunday, so if you're able to join us in person, we do encourage it. Or if you're not able to join us in person, just view it live on our Kirtan Atlanta Facebook page or Atlanta ISKCON, which is our ISKCON Atlanta Facebook page. And then most importantly, our next big festival coming up is Sri Radha Astami, the most auspicious appearance day of Srimati Radharani. We'll be mainly having a program in the evening beginning at 5:30 p.m. We'll be having Abhishek, Pushpa Abhishek, some wonderful classes by our amazing speakers. And we are encouraging everyone, if they are able to please bring Bhoga offerings to offer to Srimati Radharani. The regular rules apply of what is okay. If you need some more clarification, please feel free to contact us. And everyone is encouraged to bring as much as they can. And we will also be releasing more information in terms of schedules and offerings on our WhatsApp groups and Facebook pages. So please mark your calendars. That will be Monday, September 13th. And our program in the evening will be beginning at 5:30 p.m. We hope to see you all there in person. Or if you're not able to make it in person, we will be streaming it virtually via Zoom and Facebook Live, the links of which will also be available on our Facebook page and WhatsApp groups. And to keep up to date with everything that we are putting out there, you can easily access everything we are doing through our Linktree page, the link which you can see on screen right now, where through one click, you can access our website, our Facebook page, Instagram page, YouTube page, which has all of our amazing classes uploaded on there for easy viewing. We also have our WhatsApp groups with daily updates, so you can always join that. And we also post updates on our Facebook page as well, and Instagram pages. And finally, we have a request for prayers for His Holiness Amala Bhakta Swami, who is experiencing some severe health issues. Her Grace Govardhan Leela Mataji, our local co-temple and vice temple president, who's still experiencing some health issues. Her Grace Uttama Radhika Mataji, a very appreciated member of our community here, and the doctors who have helped fight COVID-19, and anyone else we have not been able to mention. For the benefit of these devotees, let us chant the Mahamantra in a prayerful mood together 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you once again for joining us for our midweek program so enthusiastically. Please don't forget to join us this coming Sunday for a special class with His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami. On Monday for Sri Radha Astami, the most auspicious appearance day of Srimati Radharani, and obviously next week, Wednesday, for the continuation of our 12 Mahajan series. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.